Hello crafters, this is Suzanne from A Creative Muse, and I am here now to do the hinge. Let's make the hinge what the pages will attach to attach to the mini album cover. Alrighty, let's get started. Okay crafters, I hope you guys are having fun making this because I'm actually kind of having fun teaching this, which is interesting. I didn't think I would, but it's not that bad actually. Alrighty, so take out, I have 2 sheets of Basil 12 by 12 avalanche cardstock. So I'm going to use one, let's say 1 and a piece for the hinge. We're also definitely going to need 2 pieces for the cover. That's why I was saying buy 5 or 6 sheets, just in case you make a mistake in the cutting or something. You don't have to race back out and get it. Or if the store only had 5 sheets left, pick up all 5. Do yourself the favor. You can always use it for something else. It makes a wonderful card base too. Or it can make a nice matting. Yeah, but it's kind of wasted on matting. There was a time, you know, when I first started scrapbooking, I was using Basil for scrapbook layouts and matting. I was like, but that was before it became so hard to get, and it's the same price, but it's just more expensive now. Alrighty, let me come off my tangent. Take the first piece of avalanche, and I kind of like scoring with the, I don't know why I do, but I do like scoring against the grain. So my grain is running this way. I kind of like scoring like so. It's just my little habit. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but that's just my thing. So first I'm going to trim off here. Alrighty, insert the cardstock. What you don't want is this piece. Let's just not confuse things by adding that. Let's cut our piece 8.5 inches. Yes, I'm actually going to make the hinge out of 1 sheet then. Yeah, 8.5 inches. Put it here. Rotate it 10.5. Well, let me do it this side. There's a little curl there. I just want to get rid of that curl. That curl is driving me crazy. By 10.5. So here's the 10.5 inch. Keep this little piece for something. Second piece. Alrighty, I need another piece that's 3 inches. So you can, yeah, 3 inches by 8.5. I can cut it 8.5 here to save a bigger piece here. So let me do that. 8.5 inches. Get a nice little photo mat piece here. And then rotate it and come down to 3 inches. This you can toss. Alrighty, remove your trimmer. And now we're going to go into some scoring. So it's 2 pieces. And notice it's 8.5 inches long. The 8.5 inch, now even though I have this running, the texture running horizontal and this one running vertical, nobody will notice. I do it all the time. And nobody ever notices. I just don't want to cut another piece. But if you want to cut another piece to match how the grain is running, feel free. That doesn't bother me that much. And this is going to the back of the album anyway. The front is where it stays all nice and perfect. Alrighty. So now we're going to do our first score. Now okay. Let me do a sidebar before I start. Okay. Actually, all right. Alrighty, folks. This sidebar is an important sidebar, so I'll come back in and then we'll finish this up. Alrighty, this hinge was invented by Kathy King from Paper Phenomenon. That's who I learned how to make mini albums. She has great tutorials, and she also does reveals here on YouTube. You can find her under Paper Phenomenon. I think you can also find her under Kathy King, actually. I think it is Kathy King. Yeah, under Kathy King. I learned how to make mini albums just from, you know, purchasing her tutorials, and she does step-by-step tutorials with video and everything. This hinge she invented, and I'll show you the hinge here. So normally a hinge is not out to here. This page would be attached closer to here. When you attach a page assembly down here near where the spine is, albums tend to not open wide and flat like this. Notice how this is opening wide? You know, a lot of mini albums will open like so. And you have to be like working them. She created this type of hinge by just adding that extra score to have your albums and your pages lay flat so you can do all your interaction and you'll be a happy camper. With that being said, what happened was when she first invented this and started teaching it and putting it in her videos and in her tutorials, people were then making albums, not taking her tutorial, but making pages like how I just made those pages, but taking this idea and not giving her, one, any credit for it, and two, acting as if they made it. No, they did not. Now, in crafting, I know it's a long sidebar, but I mean, especially for my newbies, or if you're a crafter at home and you're now like, well, the pandemic has hit and you know what, let me start selling a bunch of crafty stuff. Let me tell you how crafting goes because I've been around it long enough and I've seen some stuff and I've actually met her attorney. So this is why I'm saying this now, because I know this is something that can definitely happen. In the world of crafting, we're all kumbaya, everybody loves everybody until something happens. When people were taking this and acting like this was their own, which is not fair to her. She invented it, give her a little credit. So Kathy made this whole hinge thing. Because people were taking it, she decided, you know what? I don't appreciate everybody just going away with it and making it, da, da, da. So she patented it. She has a license. How I can teach you it right now, I bought the license. So if you're going to make a video and you want to use this, I suggest buying her license because it is registered and it's a registered trademark item. I have met her attorney at a crop. She is a crafter, so she knows how this world works. Aha! Because Kathy lives here in Florida and I met her attorney in Florida. I've never met Kathy. She lives in Pensacola. I live South Florida, but I have met her attorney. So don't, you know, what the license says, I can use this, I can sell a few mini albums, I cannot mass produce. And that now is a clear point for all of this crafty stuff. For my newbies, you want to make a few mini albums to raise money for your church, fine. What you can't really do, what you shouldn't do, and you can get in trouble with it, or you can have fellow crafters see you doing it and they will call and report you. Crafters are very loyal to their people. They be like, that's not right. You can't like take this paper from Michael's, make 100 or 200 or 500 of this same album in the same style using their trademark paper, her trademark hinge, and just blitz it all out on Etsy. You're making 500 of this album. You can make one or two and sell them. But with this, you're going to have to buy her license. With this, that's okay. Once you start making a ton of the same exact thing, problems. Same thing with stamped images. Same thing with digital images. You can use somebody's stamp and make a card or two. What you can't do is make 900 of this same stamped image and sell 900 cards because this company, they made their image, they want, you know, yeah. So you can make a few, I'd say under 10 or so. Once you start going volume, that's when everything becomes a problem. And if people notice you doing it, they may make a call or let the company know, guess what? There's this person who is, yeah, and it happens. And I've seen it happen on both ends. And yes, people do sue people in crafting. Big companies sue each other. There are two major lawsuits. I don't want to get into them because that's, you know, they are out there. One is with die cutting and the other one is with the stamping. That's all I'm going to say. Two major ones from the same type of thing. Because one person made it, somebody else kind of tweaked it. You can't tweak everything and then claim it as your own. And that's just the nature of crafting. In this instance, I'm showing you this because I did buy a license to teach you how to make this hinge. Please don't go and make a bunch of videos and then you have this same exact hinge and you're like, oh, and buy her license if you're going to show this on a YouTube video, Facebook, Instagram. If you want to just show your finished album, you made a mini album, fine. But if you're going to be teaching or anything like that, buy her license. Do yourself the favor, okay? And another company to be careful of in crafting, Disney. A lot of people like to do Disney stuff, and that's all cute and great. That's all their intellectual property. You can do a few things Disney, like you see me do my little memory decks cards. I can't produce 500 of the same memory decks card with Mickey's face on it and put it on Etsy and sell it. Problems. Just be mindful of that. If you want to turn things into a business, when you don't have a problem turning anything into a business, is if I took a pencil and I drew something and then I made 500 of my drawing and I made them into a card, that's my property to then sell. If somebody copies it, then I can go after them. So I'm just saying. So now, after we just cleared up all of the little not so pretty side of crafting, let's get into this, all right? No, I'm back into my video after my little Hinge tangent about the license, because I just want you guys to understand that, you know, it's better to be safe than sorry, and you don't want to be stepping on toes, and then lawyers are reaching out to you. You don't need all of that. It's crafting. Let's keep it kumbaya. All righty. So now here we are with our 8.5 inch piece turned on the 10.5 inch side, and now I'm going to do the hinge, which is Kathy's patented hinge. And for my existing, for my seasoned mini album makers, I kept this as a 1/2 inch gusset all the way through, so it's going to be 1/2 inch all the way out, just to keep it easy. If I made my gusset, the gusset is the space in between. If I made this space in between shorter, let's say 1/4 of an inch or 3/8 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch, then it just becomes hairier to do the scoring. And I just wanted to keep it super easy and clean and simple for you guys. But yes, make it as gifts. You can go ahead, make it as a gift. Nobody has a problem with that. Selling in volume. That's where things become hairy. Alrighty. So now we're going to go from 2 inch. That's the first score. And then every 1/2 inch, you're going to go out 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6. So it's every 1/2 inch, 6.5, 7. I am not writing these numbers out. Watch the video again if you need to see, because I just don't want anybody contacting me about, oh, I put it out there, I published. I'm not publishing it. I'm just telling you how to make this hinge for my album. So we went 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, 10. So from 2 to 10.5, it's a 1/2 inch space all the way through. Take your second piece, which is your 3 inch piece, and 8.5 inch long, you're going to rotate on the shortest side, and I'm going to go again, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch, only 2 times. That's page 4. This now attaches to the mini album. And done. So that's the hinge. Then now, this is the part where people sometimes make a boo-boo on the hinge. Flip it over. And we're going to put adhesive here. Now, how I like to do hinges, because if you stick something wrong, yeah, it's pretty much, yeah. Then you're going to have to start over. So I like to take this longest piece first. I'm going to turn it this way because I'm going to be applying tape. Alrighty, and I'm going to go tape. You can watch this one as much as you want. Tape closest to the score line. And again, tape here to the score line. So two parts, two next to each other. Then I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to go to this one. One here. And when you're making the hinge, this is the time to have nobody talk to you. Focus, because this is where you can easily make mistakes, and then you're going to end up wasting a lot of score tape, and you don't want to do that. So we go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, next one up. And I can see my score line. I hope you guys can see it. Let me come on down. Let me zoom it in more so you can see what I'm talking. And then one more. Oh, I was like, oh, I hope you guys don't mind that conversation, but it's a conversation that needed to be had, because what I don't want is that you get in trouble, you know, you get contacted, you know, by Kathy or something. And if somebody made something, just give them the credit for it. Now I'm rotating this around. And that's why I'll tell you, I saw something on YouTube. I saw this person, she made this did that. Sometimes I may not know the person's name, but I'll say I saw a video. Because I didn't invent it. So if I didn't invent it, I'm not going to take credit for it. Alrighty. And then the last one here. Okay. There we go. So here, what we're looking at right here. Page 1. Space, page 2, space, page 3, space, going into page 4. Page 4 continues over here with these two pieces. I don't need it because I already have it here. And that's pretty much the underside of the hinge. Now we're going to flip the hinge, we're going to flip it over. We're going to start the scoring. Not scoring, burnishing. So these two pieces are here, and I'm going to burnish this one back on itself, like so. Now, here with the 2-inch, I'm going to start out here where the 10.5 inches, I'm going to fold. I go 2 in, and this is just my habit because I don't like folding each one. I kind of like what's standing up to stay straight. I'm going to go, so I go 2, I fold. That third one, I'm going to fold in again. Then, so that's 1, 2 space, and I go 2 in again. And I go 2 more. So right here, what we have is page 1. Page 1, another page. So then I'm going to go 1 more. Okay. Yep, and then 2. And this is just my habit. If it's too confusing, then just fold each one in. But I don't like that standing up part to be folded in unnecessarily. There we go. And 1 more right here beside it. Ooh. See how the basil is working so well? And this is where a Teflon bowl folder comes in quite handy. If you're going to make mini albums, you're going to make a few, treat yourself to a Teflon bone folder for your sanity. Last part I'm going to fold in is this here with the 2 inches, like so. And burnish. Then I'm going to fold it back on itself. So, let me show you what you're going to have. And this is how you're going to know you're right. This is the hinge, this is the gusset. Page 2, hinge, gusset. Page 3, hinge, gusset. Page 4. That's what you're looking for. If you don't have what I'm showing you right here, then there's a mistake. And also, no adhesive on the back. 0 adhesive. Then you are accurate and you are correct. If it's short somewhere, then you made a mistake. Rewind back the video, fast forward my little talk, and then start again. Alrighty? And this is common. This is common to make a mistake because this is your first time making something like this. Flip over. Now what I'm going to do, and this is another part, you don't want to stick this way over here. I want to stick this to this. So I'm starting off with my 2-inch side. This is that 2-inch side. And I'm going to fold. These two pieces are going to stick to that too. There I go. Then these two to that. So I'm skipping my gusset here. So you just think about the pages and fold. Page 1, page 2. If you, that's what I was saying. Tell everybody, just give me 10 minutes. Nobody talk to you. Take your time. Here we go. These two to that two. So we're skipping this part here. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to fold this over to here. That's page 3. Here's the last two. I'm going to flip it over now to the front. This is what will hold your pages. Let me get a page. Here is the page 1. It will go right in here. Alrighty. So now I have this side attaches to the front of the album. Page 1, page 2, page 3. Here is 4. 4 is going to attach here with these two pieces. Alrighty. So now let me show you how I attach this. Alright. I take this piece. Or I can also do it this way. And the good thing about Scor-Tape, you can always stick it back. If you make a boo-boo. So let me show you the easier way to do it. I normally pull it all the way off, but let's not do it that way. Let's go this way. So take off a piece, fold this part out, okay? Take off a piece again, fold it away from you. And we're gonna do it, ooh, that's not good. We're gonna do it like a pull tab. So that can help you stay straighter. Flip the whole page assembly over. And what I'm looking for now is lining up this edge with this, no, this bottom with that bottom. That's what I'm really looking for. Let me not say the top edge. So I'm lining up here, this bottom part with this bottom part. Don't worry about the top. These two top part get stuck up in the page. They're not relevant. What's relevant is keeping the base flat and together. There we go, like so. Now I can pull out the rest and attach it. See what I'm saying? Right here, this is off by a little bit. I don't mind that at all. What I want is back here being flat. This needs to be flat and level, okay? Let me come back out. Alrighty. Now let's go with that second part of the back. Pull the little tab, and there you go. And now I'm going to burnish. Ensure a good fit on every hinge. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Where's my 1-inch roll? Oh, I see my 1-inch roll. Alrighty. So now we have this done. So here is page 1, 2, 3, 4. Now normally my habit, because I like to keep, I like to keep neat to the front, not so neat towards the back. So I'll put here, this gets covered up anyway. I'll put a B for back and an F for front, or just F in the front and you'll know what it is. Now what I'm going to also do, I'm going to also attach Scor-Tape to that hinge, because the pages have to attach with some sort of adhesive here. What you're looking for, I'm going to bring the camera back down again. What you're looking for, that second score line right there. You see it? That second score line, you're going to go right above it. Ooh, it's getting hard to see. There. On both sides. Now, a traditional mini album without this hidden hinge, Kathy's hidden hinge, you would put it down here. But we're not doing that. We're doing Kathy's hidden hinge. So you see where I'm talking, where I put it? There we go. Right there. There's a score line. I'm right above the score line. That's how you want it, right? Same thing as before, right above the score line. Flip it over, and then again, right here at that score line. And we're also going to taper this too, taper the edges, so we can fit the pages on nice and neat. But we're not doing the pages yet until this is attached to the base of the chipboard. And you just continue going each page. I'm going to speed up the video here because it just repeats itself. Right, and there we go. Alrighty, so there's my hinge. These are my 4 pages. I have adhesive on both sides. You can see the, oh, I don't want to say, I can't stand saying that name, Sukwang. And now I'm going to taper, and Tim Hall scissors are great for that because it's cutting through 2 layers of basil plus 2 layers of adhesive, well, 4 adhesive here, 1 on the inside and there. So 3 layers of adhesive. And you take the score line, right there at the score line, and you cut in at an angle. So you're looking for that. That's the kind of cut, okay? And now I'm going to do the rest. Easy peasy. Oops. Alrighty. Again. And here. There we go. And there we go. Page 4. There we go. So that's my 4 pages. I'm going to flip it over, and now I'm going to use my 1-inch roll to attach adhesive on the back. Now I like to attach my 1-inch. I like to start off in here first and cover those 2 seams like so. I hope my 1-inch doesn't fall flat there. And you can use scissors, but of course I like to do it that way. Now, if you tear this by hand, you may have pieces hanging over. Just cut it off, and when I say pieces hanging over, I mean pieces of adhesive. And that can just be just messy and ooey gooey and sticky. Did I say ooey gooey? It's not ooey gooey. It's just, it just becomes a problem. And then when you have adhesive hanging over, there we go. There we go. Again, come down here. That's why I love this. It's like my tape cutter. That's what it is, really. Any little square thing you have that can, you know, that has a flat edge, you can use to tear the tape. Now this should be edge to edge covering. So I'm going to come back out to the edge here. Come on down. Now, as you can see, I have a space here I can run. Let me show you. Now, I do have 5/8 inch tape, so I would put that there, but just for the sake of the video, let me come in and fill up that space with 1/2 inch, which this is just like driving me nuts because I feel like I'm wasting tape here at this point. Because if you use 1/4 inch on this whole length, this is a lot. It's going to be a lot of 1/4 inch tape. But this is what sticks down and you want it to be secure. And I'm still following the way that I learned from Kathy King, Paper Phenomenon. A great tutorial of hers is called Back to Basics. And she has the printed version, which will be a little bit cheaper than the video where you follow through. You can get both the printed and the video. That's a great starting set in terms of learning how to put together a mini album. And she does the beginner, intermediate, and advanced in that series too. So that's a good one. Or you can buy any other tutorial that she has. But if you're not used to making it, then you're going to be like me, how I started. Where I basically ended up throwing away about 2 or 3 albums, pretty much. There we go. So here, edge to edge coverage. There we go. So here we are with that hinge. This is what we'll attach to the hinge, like so. Once we attach this to the album. What I was saying before my phone died, we have the hinge done. Now we're going to be doing, next we're going to be doing cutting the chipboard, cutting the tie vac, and preparing the cover. Alrighty, crafters. So I was just backtracking this one here where I was telling you guys not to mat the pages. So now I'm here with we did the hinge, flipped it over, you covered your edge to edge with whatever adhesive you're using. Yeah, if you watch my supply video, you know I love my Scor-Tape. But if whatever roll you have, this is the time to put it out, turn it over. If you are, sidebar actually, if you are using a different brand than Scor-Tape, and I'm not talking about Redline. I don't mess with Redline tape. I've always heard once it goes down, it sticks completely and Yeah, I don't want to, at least with the Scor-Tape, I'm just more comfortable with Scor-Tape. If you're using a different brand, let's say you bought the scrapbook.com 4-inch roll and you have 4 inches here. When we're getting ready to attach this, and I'll say it again, getting ready to attach it to the chipboard, also add your wet glue. For years, I was using my Scotch tacky wet glue with the fine line. I could still put it on with the fine line. Using the 18 gauge though, the yellow bottle fine line, not the thin one. And I would go like this. And sometimes even here with this, I'll still do a little dabble. But if you are definitely not using Scor-Tape, most definitely put on a little wet glue before you attach it. So just in case you're using a different brand, don't worry if it's not Scor-Tape, but don't worry so much, but just know that you're going to need some wet glue then at that point. Either your art glitter, your barely art glue, or your Scotch tacky glue. Not your Elmer's glue. Alrighty, crafters, until the next video. Stay crafty, my friends. We'll be doing the covers next. Yay! Alrighty, crafters. Bye.